Yes, sir, man. We're back at it again with another Granblue video, man. You know we finna go crazy with it. 100%. Shout out to y'all, though, before we start, because y'all showed so much love to my previous video. For that to ever be my first Granblue video and to get the love that it got, bro, it's insane. Y'all smashed the like goal out of the park. So many new subscribers, man. Y'all welcomed me into the community with loving arms, and I truly do appreciate it. Today's video, though, we're gonna go over pretty much everything that was asked in the comment section of my last video. And a lot of people don't really know like what type of game this is. Of course, if you're locked in with Relink, you already know what type of game we finna get. We finna get a banger. But for the ones that was in the comment section that was asking, is this game like an MMO, or is it like a gacha game, or is it truly just single player with no multiplayer, or is it just a multiplayer only game? I'm gonna answer all those questions. So we're just gonna go over everything that we know about Relink so far. So of course, first off, I gotta get the known facts out of the way. This game itself has single player and multiplayer aspects in it. Of course, the single player side of it is the story mode. It's going to be 25 hours of story content, and then once you beat the story, the real game opens up and it's time to get to grinding, you feel me? And when you get to grinding, you got to play multiplayer. Now, of course, the multiplayer quest, I seen a lot of comments is if like, will you have AIs fill your party if you have no one to play with, or will you have to actually be connected to like an online service to play this game? You can do the multiplayer quest, even though they are called multiplayer quests, you can do them solo, whether that's just truly by yourself, or it would be just like the story mode where you have a party. It'll just fill up your party with characters that you could choose, and it'll just be all CPUs. It'll be 3 of them, and it'll be you in the quest. Or like I said, you could just do the quest solo if you're feeling like you're that guy. 100%. I gotta try quest solo because me, I'm locked in with Siegfried, like I said in the previous video. And Siegfried, he's going to be a demon. So I feel like I could do some quests solo, just solely by myself, you feel me? But 100%, like I said, this game, you don't need like an online connection. You only need it if you want to play online with other people, right? That makes sense, obviously. And then for the online side of things, if you play with, let's just say, for example, if you play with your friends, you can fill your party up all the way. If you only have like one other friend that's getting this game, it'll be you, your friend, and then it will fill your party up with CPUs. However many actual players you don't have in your party, they will be filled up by CPU. So there will always be 4 players on the map, or not players. There will always be 4 quest members on the map at once. Whether that's 2 real people, 2 CPUs, 3 real people, 1 CPU, or 1 real person and 3 CPUs, if you get what I'm saying. Also, when it comes to the multiplayer quest aspect of the game, you will be able to grind your characters up to level 100, and you will be able to get their gear up to hit higher tiers of content. Now, I want to make like my own specific separate video going over all the characters and like their gameplay and what unique functions they bring to the game. That's going to be like its own separate video, so I'm not going to dive into every single character. I'm just going to go over like the basics that is like tied in with the all character progression in this game, if that makes sense. So of course, in this game, you have 20 playable characters. Here's the screenshot of all the playable characters, with the most recent one being Cagliostro. And of course, for some reason on this graphic, Gran and Gita is missing, but you know, the main character, they're going to be playable, right? So each one of these characters, there's going to be like a character mastery system. Now, from all the previous videos that I watched from other content creators, they weren't able to show this off. They just kind of like paraphrase what this system is going to be. And basically like what it's going to be is like, you'll get, let's just say for example, right, you're a Lancelot man, you're playing with Lancelot. Lancelot, you'll be able to get more movement speed, you'll be able to do more damage, your ice attacks will be able to do more damage, and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not locked behind like, oh, if you hit like, for example, and this is not like confirmed in any way, this is just like my own headcanon, but let's just say you hit like prestige 1 with Lancelot, you unlock a new skill. That's not how the character mastery progression works. Every single character will have their base skills unlocked. It's just the mastery progression gives you like boost on top of your stats, if that makes sense. So that's kind of like a little dive into like the character system in this game. But like I said, I'm going to have like my own separate video going over all 18 playable characters. Well, 19 with Gita and Gran, of course. But we're going to go over every single character in depth. So make sure you subscribe for that and stay tuned for that, because that one's going to be a really good video. As for like the gear grind in this game, the devs of this game has explained basically how the multiplayer aspect is going to work, is that you're going to have a gear score for your character, right? This is not confirmed, like the numbers that I'm about to throw out, this is just my headcanon, But let's just say, for example, right, like I said in the previous video, I'm going to be playing Siegfried. I'm going to do multiplayer quests. I'm going to start off at, let's just say, for example, a 0 battle score. We're going to do like all the low tier quests from like 0 to 100. We get our battle score up to 100. There's going to be like a master quest for you to complete. And once you complete that level 100 master quest, right, it's going to unlock the next tier of gear score, if that makes sense. So you have to beat the certain quest in order to unlock like the master version of that tier of quest. Like if you played Monster Hunter, the best example for me to explain it to y'all, because there was comments asking like how the quest system was going to work within this game. If you played Monster Hunter, if you remember how like there was 1-star quest, 2-star quest, 3-star quest, and you have to do like everything in the 1-star quest to unlock the like rank up quest to unlock 2 stars. That's basically how this game is going to go. You can invite your friends. Let's just say, for example, I'm like gear score 1,000 and I have a homie who's like gear score 300. I can invite him to my level 1,000 quest. He will be able to get carried and he will get gear from it. The devs have not confirmed if like the gear that drops will scale down to whatever that person's gear score is, or it'll drop at like level of 1,000 and you have to get like a certain level with that character to be able to equip it. I assume that's how it works because that's how it works in other RPGs, but you can invite your friends and carry them in quests specifically. But if you do that in matchmaking, like if you're not playing with anyone, you will only matchmake with people that's relative to your gear score, if that makes sense. So if I'm level 1,000, the rest of my party will be relatively around 1,000 for that said quest. So I kind of like how they did that, because you can't really, because in Monster Hunter, you can just join like the highest tier quest with like the lowest gear possible and then shoot out a solar flare. And then you can have people come essentially carry you. You can get the best gear in the game for essentially doing nothing, right? So I kind of like how they lock that off to like, you know, you have to grind if you want to be able to get better stuff for your character. So I do like that. As of like the other systems that was implemented within this game, there is going to be like an actual end game for this game, which is amazing because I love end game and RPGs, because the thing about the RPG genre that really like makes me fall in love with it is that you can really feel your progression in these games, right? Of course, when the game drops, everyone's going to be around the same level. We're all going to have weak characters, but over time, as we put more hours in, we're going to officially feel our account getting stronger, if that makes sense. That's the progression that I love so much. It's just going to be streamlined in this game, and it's just going to be so good. The end game of this, there's like in-game raids. There is actual raid gameplay, and I have that playing right now. This is not like the full raid, if I remember correctly. Of course, I'm recording this before I get all my footage, but these raids specifically, you have to hit like a certain gear score, and even if you hit that certain gear score, you have to have like the perfect setup to be able to even attempt this raid. Because the way that this game works, and I'm gonna, like I said, dive deep more into it in the character section, because of course the characters essentially is the gameplay of this game, right? There's going to be certain bosses that are weak to certain elements, and certain characters will thrive against those bosses. But like, for example, in the video that I was watching, right, with someone like Lancelot, there's going to be bosses that have like an ice resist, and of course with Lancelot being an ice character, he's going to have a harder time against that boss against someone like Percival, for example, or Siegfried that does like fire damage, if that makes sense. You can bring Lancelot to those quests, for example. It's just that like you're gonna have a way harder time doing damage and beating that boss if you just don't bring a character that's like, you know, has an advantage against that. Which I do like, because it does give the incentive to level up other characters. Because at the end of the day, the only thing that I can see being like an issue in this game is not the gameplay itself. It's just that like if the end game doesn't have a real motivation for you to like level up and use other characters, because if I can just level up Siegfried, get him to 100 and just blast through every single boss and just me head my way to victory for every single boss, then what's the reason of me leveling up the other characters? You know what I'm saying? I'm the type of person, I like to have diversity and I like to have multiple options. So if there's a certain boss that's weak to fire, I'll bring Percival. If there's a certain boss that's weak to Lancelot, weak to ice, then I'll bring Lancelot. But that gives me a reason to level up my other characters so I can beat the certain end game bosses and get the best loot in the game. So like I said, we're gonna dive into that topic way more and flesh that out in the specific character videos, because I'm gonna go over abilities and what each character brings to the game in those specific video. Right, I just had a meanest mind blank. But yeah, that's pretty much everything regarding Relink as of like a general like a surface level content, right? Of course we can dive into it way more, but this is going to be me fleshing out stuff that I've already established. I just wanted to give you guys the basics, but of course if you guys want me to dive deep within like the mechanics of the game, I can make like a specific mechanically heavy video, right? That's kind of going to be kind of the format for like the character video that I'm going to make. But if you want me to dive into like the raids and like in-game bosses and like the gear score, like the level up for the weapons and weapon mastery, because your weapons will have a prestige level and things like that. Like these are just really like niche things that we've seen from like gameplay. The devs themselves hasn't really like came out and said that, at least to my knowledge. I haven't heard that from them anywhere, but I heard it from other YouTube creators that actually had like their hands on time with the game, right? So these are all like nuanced things that we can talk about in videos all the way up to launch of the game. I just wanted to answer questions that was in my previous comment section of the previous video and just kind of give y'all a general overview of what Relink is. Now, before we end off, there is one thing that I do want to say. I don't know if this is like this for Steam, but as you can see, this is the Granblue Fantasy Relink JP Twitter account, and they do have a graphic. So basically what it's telling you, and I pre-ordered this game last night, super excited, I'm so ready for this. But if you pre-order the game on the PlayStation version, you will have 72 hours of early access. Now, I don't know if Steam has this same access, right, for lack of a better term. I don't like play games on my PC or anything. So if you already pre-ordered this on Steam, let me know down below in the comment section if you guys do have the early access package as well. I would assume so, because like that would be kind of like unfair, right? If we both pre-ordered the game, but I gotta wait 72 hours more because I'm on my PC playing it, right? And I already saw like a bunch of comments from the PC section of the comment in the previous video. I know a lot of you guys are mad that the demo is not coming to PC at all, which is crazy. It's going to be a console only demo, but that really like infuriated a lot of people in the comment section. But I do feel so sorry for y'all. But that's pretty much just going to be the end of this one. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you go down there, hit the thumbs up button for your boy. 100%, like I said, in this one, we're going to dive deep into the characters, and we're going to go over pretty much their entire kit and what they bring to the game. And that's going to be the next video. If you did enjoy this one, though, make sure you go down there, hit the thumbs up button for your boy. Subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff, man. And once again, shout out to y'all for showing me so much love on my first ever Granblue video. And let's just keep up the traction. It's been the Kid Prox, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.